I can't believe that catch. I'm like, he didn't make it in. He didn't make it in. He didn't make it in.
I was down by 38. Then he threw the last touchdown pass to Terry, and I'm like, I think I might have had it. And then I lost by 3.
It's going to be a long episode, buddy.
Starter's jacket, man, from the 80s.
Edit from here to here, okay?
You say,
see.
this is my space, and this is your space.
I'm going to get to my question, okay? Stop. I will unplug your mic. Man, what another insane week. I feel like the more that we do this, the worse I get. I really do. Like,
it's like years for you now.
I won a championship last
Nobody
year.
knows anything anymore. Like, I swear. Nobody seems to know anything about anything anymore.
It was a wild week again. And
The Shadow Championship?
no, Fred's championship.
The Shadow.
The money one. The
gun.
money one.
It's
I
gone.
won the money.
It's gone.
At 9-5, it is gone. I pay my rent on time. Leave me alone. So we got
It's like the XFL breaking down. No more. You're the champion. Yay!
we got Sean in his Giants attire. I apologize for anything that comes out. This is a disclosure right now. Sean got a few teeth pulled.
No, 1 tooth.
Okay, the other one fell out. He lost 2 teeth in the last 24 hours. Okay,
That's true.
right? Am I right, Fred? I mean, Fred still got all his fins.
I was eating American cheese.
Yeah.
Dangerous, man.
America's-
It was the piece after I didn't give to the dog. I put in my mouth, and then it was a tooth.
A what?
A tooth.
A tooth. America's dental care is going downhill. All right.
I do. I agree with that.
My vote's going the Eggman. I'm voting for Eggman for president. Anyway.
Calcium. Come on, Eggman. Give us the calcium update.
So listen, Monday's crazy games. We had the Jaguars massacred by the Bills. Bills not skipping a beat without Stephon Diggs. Think about this, man. Like, I did not think that Cook was going to come out here and cook every opponent he's played against so far.
Or Shakira.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he had a good game. Steve,
Josh Allen had his way with the Jaguars. It was crazy. I mean, just they didn't have one non-touchdown drive until it didn't matter anymore. Josh Allen had his way with that defense. The defense had no pressure on the Bills' offensive line, who, to give them credit, is a lot better than I thought they were, to be honest, especially after they gave up Mitch Morse to the Jaguars. But, I mean...
The other game had a historical stat, too. Do you know what that was?
Are you talking about turnovers?
The Washington football team, is that right? Commanders? Whatever the hell we want to call them. Good job, Daly. Yeah. But there was no punts in that game.
Wow.
No punts in that game, and the Commanders have, I believe, had 0 turnovers the entire season, I think was the stat I saw.
Wow.
Yep.
I don't think they've had 1 turnover the entire season.
Yep.
Seems hard to believe, but
Yeah, dude.
I mean, that's
It was great.
credit where it's due.
Sean, I love that you're jumping ahead.
That's how I work, man.
I really wanted to ask Steve, do you still have faith in Doug Peterson? Do you still have faith in
I wanted to
the
go
Jaguars
back to this,
team?
too.
Well, I don't have faith in Press Taylor and therefore Doug Peterson because they're a tandem. And somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to scapegoat.
He's playing for his job.
It's not going to be... Yeah, there's no fight in that team whatsoever. Nobody seems to care. It's just... It was depressing to watch. Towards the end of the Eagles' tenure, it did. They didn't really care, and that was like right when they put in Jalen Hurts, to the dismay of the front office, and kind of rolled with that, and they kind of let Peterson go shortly after that. That team was kind of just trending downhill so fast, and this kind of feels like the same vibe.
I believe in Doug.
I'm starting not to.
It takes time to get your staff to where it needs to be, but what I don't believe in is the Doug and ownership. and where ownership wants to be. You need all those things to coexist. And if Doug wants a guy, go get him. But again, you need to have communication with your, your GM, your ownership, and you all have to have a common goal. So that's where I'm at with it. I think Doug's still a great coach, but that's the Eagles fan in me. Jayden Daniels, baby. Let's talk about this. I saw glimpses of it in week 1. Week 2, I was like, oh my God, what did I just talk about? The most impressive part of his game was, I believe he was 22 for 24.
Yeah, 91%.
I think it was a beautiful game. I loved it.
2 LSU quarterbacks going against each other, alma maters. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And Cincinnati I don't know what's wrong with them.
We talked about it last week. We talked about the Cowboys versus the Ravens, and, Ravens going in there 0-2. Ravens stepped up.
Yeah.
Since he didn't.
No.
And you need that fight in your team.
After the game, did you see what the coach and quarterback did? Went straight to the office.
That's fine. It's a
conversation.
Look, one of the biggest things that upset me last week with the Eagles coaching, he didn't address the team after that horrible loss.
Oh, he got addressed, Mr. Burrows.
But that's good.
Yeah, I know.
That's good. Light the fire under your guys. You got to be there for your guys. I don't care if it's like, hey, we really need to step up our game. This was a fluke play. This was all on me, guys. We're going to get back at it next week.
Yep.
Done. Eagles coaching didn't do that.
No. But back to Jayden Daniels, the throws he was making to Terry McLaurin, that was kind of his profile. He has a really good deep ball. You could see it on full display against a defense that was calling him out for playing what seemed to still be a college offense, according to that one Bengals defensive back who doesn't keep his mouth shut. And Jayden Daniels answered the call and made the right throws at the right time and beat them. And it was great to watch.
That last throw to McLaurin was the nail in the coffin.
That's right. He had Terry McLaurin, Daniels,
he had them all. He had
someone
the
else
whole
in that
team
game too, didn't he?
He had Brian. He had Jayden. He had McLaurin. I lost fair and square.
Is it fair enough to say that if
and I traded him that players.
Is it fair enough?
I traded him, Terry. You're welcome.
The NFL is a game of inches, and fantasy football is a game of last-minute throws. Eagles game. I thought it was a really good thought-out process for our defense. It being 3-0 at halftime really worried me about all the fantasy players on both sides. What do you guys think was the success of the Eagles' defense in the first half against that Saints offense that couldn't be stopped the first 2 games?
Dallas, I think, just in bad shape. You could see the morale of that team right now.
Dallas's run defense, which we'll get to, is pure garbage now. But what I was going to say with the Eagles, that defensive line stepped up and answered the call, kind of like what I said with Jayden Daniels about just responding to some of the adversity that was put on them. Jalen Carter was calling himself out in the media. A lot of people were calling out Jordan Davis, and both of them had a really good game up front, and that whole defensive line and front seven really stepped up against Alvin Kamara and that offensive line, which, to the Saints' credit, did get hurt a little bit throughout the game, but even still, just the signs that you were seeing from the Eagles' front seven was really promising and showed that really the first couple weeks where they were probably just getting their feet wet in the new Vic Fangio system. So very curious how they use this performance going forward.
I do need to apologize about the Olave sit, but he was the only player that played for the Saints.
No, that's the problem. He got 7 passes, double teamed most of the game, and you knew it was happening. Switch.
Right.
And Olave was open this time.
So, do you play Olave next week? Steve, what do you got?
Yes. Even though I traded him. But yes, Olave is still really good. I believe Olave a lot of the time was also shadowed by Quinion Mitchell.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. So I think there were some rookie tendencies I'm sure he took advantage of. But, I mean, the Saints were pretty much throwing for desperation at times, it seemed, as well, and trying to spread the ball around a little bit. And I don't know, Olave is obviously as good as he is, but they just were not running the ball well at all. And Alvin Kamara had been doing so well in the first couple games, and they stymied him pretty much. Made him win with his arm. And then at the end with Derek Carr, threw that game-sealing pick, made him give the win to the Eagles in a sense.
I don't know how it happened. I walked away for 5 minutes, came back, and the Eagles won. I was like, what happened? I missed the whole end.
Listen, you could have done that the week before and been like, the Falcons won? What happened? So the Bucks. All right, my Bucks. Not my Bucks. I do like them this year, but surprising game. Surprising game that maybe it was a little bit of a hangover from the week before. Bo Nix still does not have a throwing touchdown. He's got a couple rushing touchdowns. I texted everybody maybe a half hour, 45 minutes before the game saying all rookie quarterbacks would have a throwing touchdown this week. And Steven, I'm looking at Steven, and Stroud would have his first interception and not,
2 seconds later.
10 seconds into the game, Stroud threw the interception. Unfortunately, I was traveling to my son's soccer game, and I didn't make the bet. But Bo Nix saved me.
Yeah, you got a touchdown.
Bo Nix did save me. He got a touchdown, but it wasn't throwing.
Akleeb got one. Jayden
got one. Yeah. So it was I saw the stars aligning on that one, but again, I did not see Tampa Bay losing that game.
I didn't either. It ruined all my pools.
No.
What was the most shocking thing for you in that game, Steve?
Well, first off, I just gotta say, in Ant-Man's League, a bunch of us in that did a survivor pool in that, and everybody is out.
Everybody.
All 9 of us are out after this week, mostly because of this game. But yeah, what I saw too is Bo Nix trusted, it seemed, Cortland Sutton a little bit more in this game, throwing to the outside if he needed to make a big play. And Cortland Sutton over the last few years, whether it's injury or whether it's poor quarterback situations or coaching, like, he's been a really good player, but just has not been able to show it. And this game, you kind of were seeing why, like, he's as good of a player as he is, because a lot of situations on the outside, Nix was finally trusting him and making those throws where Sutton's as big as he is, 6'3", 6'4", and able to make those catches. But they also didn't turn the ball over, and they took a lot of advantage early on from Baker Mayfield's interception. I believe it was on the second drive of the Bucks game, second drive of the game for the Bucks, and next thing you knew, it was like 14-0. So it was one of those things where Bucks are trying to climb out of it.
Yeah, it was fast. Bucks found, I think, the running back too now.
Bucky? You think Bucky?
It sounds like Bucky is.
Bucky
got some playing time ahead of him, Mr. Bowles.
I love it. I thought the same thing. I thought that.
Well, we found maybe the starter there, but Denver's in trouble. I feel like with what they have.
Okay. Vikings.
Their running back.
Their running backs. Javonte. Yeah. I think he's done, and I think they're going to go dig deep for the next one. They had the third stringer out there, did the best.
Yeah.
It moves us to the Vikings destroying the Texans. Stroud looked lost. Sam Darnold, where is this guy coming from?
MVP.
Week 3, maybe. Really? I mean, week 3, he's got my vote. I am really happy that Sam Darnold's having a resurgence, kind of like Geno Smith, another former Jet.
Interesting.
Steve, what do you got on this game?
We don't really talk about like good coaching. I feel like in general, I don't think a lot of the NFL talks about good coaching. But I just want to give Kevin O'Connell a lot of props for what he's doing with Sam Darnold and that. I mean, even the Vikings organization for the pieces that they have around him, whether it be Jefferson. I know Addison was out, but even some of their role playing receivers been good. But then you have a very, very talented running back veteran in Aaron Jones who. Skill and talent has never been the issue. The issue has always been health. But when he's on the field, he can just do just about anything to help his quarterback out. And I mean, Sam Darnold by far is in the best situation he's ever been. But Kevin O'Connell's been doing fantastic. And yeah, the Texans were pretty much outmatched the whole game. Vikings looked to have a great plan for them defensively and. A lot of fun to watch if you like the Vikings and a lot of encouraging signs for sure.
Anybody but Green Bay in that division. So what I do want to talk about with that is the fact that Sam Darnold had a great game. He's had a great start.
He's done it before. Nobody remembers this though, but when he started off with North Carolina, he was the best quarterback for the first 4 weeks and then imploded.
Yeah.
That's when the ghost came.
That's fine. Here's what my question is.
He ran it a lot too, I believe.
Yes, he did. You're right. And he was like a top. Too. He was the top
pretty
quarterback.
Mobile then. Yeah.
All right, so here's my question. Will we see a trend where rookie quarterbacks aren't forced into the game? And why I'm asking this is if Sam Darnold takes the Vikings to the playoffs and wins a game in the playoffs, is he the starter next year or is J.J. McCarthy? The reason I'm asking this is because we have 2 Hall of Famer quarterbacks. We have Brett Favre. I'm sorry about your diagnosis, sir.
That's very sad.
Yeah, it was very sad. I saw that today. Brett Favre was diagnosed with Parkinson's. After him, Aaron Rodgers. Love's off to a good start. I'm not calling him a Hall of Famer. But do you think that we'll start seeing those trends switch?
That was the trend. Like, that's how Steve Young took over Montana. Like, these trends were always like that, but free agency changed the whole way of football. Now they have to rocket these people, and the way they're changing the offense from the 80s, 90s has changed football altogether, where you're getting these fast-flying receivers, changing a quarterback that runs. It wasn't Michael Vick in 2000. That was the only one. I mean, Randall Cunningham was almost the starting of that.
I love him. He's my favorite player of all time. Randall, I hope you're doing good over in Vegas. You're an amazing person. I love you.
You got a birthday wish from Randall on the phone.
I did. It was amazing. It was one of the most amazing things
It was
I've
awesome.
ever seen. It was.
That's awesome.
How do you, so Steve, how do you feel about that aspect of it? If you were running a franchise, do you rush the kid in? Do you put him on the bench and let him learn with somebody in front of him, like a Sam Darnold?
The latter, especially because you can point to the case now. We'll get to the Panthers and Andy Dalton, Bryce Young. Bryce Young's probably a perfect example of a guy who should have sat in Patrick Mahomes' case, and Alex Smith, who'd been through the roller coasters of adversity, whether it be by injury or his situation in San Francisco, which the 49ers were patient with him. He became something really good, and then obviously Colin Kaepernick took over, and then Alex Smith had a really good career after that. But it's such an unpredictable position, too, because now you have like a Caleb Williams who's being thrown into an offense that has some good pieces and stuff, but the O-line is not very good. Andrew Luck's O-line wasn't very good when he was drafted in Indianapolis at all. It's not that he wasn't ready, but there's so many factors to all of this. It's very much a case-by-case basis and dependent on the prospect. But it's so hard to predict because it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's so confusing, and you don't really know what quarterbacks have or don't have until they get thrown into the fire like that. And like Zach Wilson was taken second overall after Trevor Lawrence. He didn't have a clue what he was doing still, even last year after a few years with the team. And I mean, Bryce Young had all the promise in the world. Obviously, his size, he's very short and all that. But I don't know, man. Just the situation. It makes sense that a veteran like Andy Dalton came in, which we'll get to, and was able to do what he did because he has so much experience.
That team is built for Dinkin and Duncan. If you think about it, Miles Sanders, you got Deontay Johnson, you got Thielen. Like, you have two probably of the last, I don't know, 5-6 years, two of the best slot receivers in the game on the same team. All about Dinkin and Duncan. And I don't think that
They were trying
Bryce,
to West Coast offense. They just didn't know how to do it.
right. I don't think Bryce was ready for it. I don't think Bryce was ready for it. So that leads me to the goddamn Packers. With Malik Willis getting his revenge on the team that had drafted him, running all over them, throwing all over them. He looked good. He looked really good. But again, quarterback sat for a little while, got to see how the offense runs and plays well.
He got a chance too, and then he got benched, and then he was overtaken. He started learning the system, moved to this one, caught on pretty quick. Jordan probably took him under his shoulders just in case, and he got a replica.
Would have helped that Tannehill was still a Titan and Will Levis watched him, whether he got beat, whether he got hurt, whether you know, Tannehill
I think you're
lost
going to
his...
see Rudolph now. I don't know if we're going to see much more of Levis.
how do you pronounce that?
Levi's.
Yeah, Levi's. Isn't that what Brett Favre wore?
Jeans.
Wranglers, bro.
Wranglers.
What, you got Parkinson's?
Yeah. It's weird because it seems like Will Levis is like a big part of the reason why the Titans have lost is because of some boneheaded turnovers from Levis, too. Because, I mean, you look at some of the turnovers he had that led directly to touchdowns. That pick six to Jair, that pick six in the first game against the Bears when he should not have even made that throw. And then there was another return for a touchdown, I believe, last week. It's just he's got a lot of confidence in his. Yeah, he's got a lot of confidence in the arm. It's just a recklessness thing, and he probably needs to sit on the bench and wait a little bit.
All right, that moves us on to the Giants.
Yeah.
Browns.
Levi to Danny Dimes.
From Levi to Danny Dimes. So, Sean, I got to ask you, you're a Giants fan. Would Danny Dimes had been a better quarterback if he sat behind somebody like a Tannehill?
Like Eli?
Like
Eli?
I don't want to talk about it because,
we kicked
the
him
Giants,
out. They kicked him out.
Yeah,
would it have been better if he sat there for a year behind Eli, how to be a professional, how to learn how to throw away the ball, not into the crowd. Don't.
Here's my question for you, Sean. How... I want your emotions right now because right now we have an opportunity where you are not doing okay. You're losing teeth like
chiclets.
Yeah, no, like Will Levis is losing turnovers. Okay, how did you feel when the coaching staff benched Eli Manning during his like Cal Ripken Iron Man go?
They should have ran the field. They should have, just like in that Colorado game, they ran the field once. They should have ran the field twice. They should have took that guy out. But Geno Smith came in. And you know what happened? It was a blessing for Geno.
Look into the camera when you tell this.
No, you want it from inside me? I have to look into my soul. It's my soul telling you. Geno would not have become what Geno is today if they did not do it. So Eli got a little bit of into Geno's blood and ruined what was ultimately a great historical.
In
yeah,
Geno's...
man. What do you think happens in the locker room, man? Your blood, sweat, and tears. You're all in the shower.
Not Eli. He doesn't need to get a shower. He's on the bench.
All right, he's in the sauna. Yeah. I mean, he's sitting next to Tiki.
Oh, my God.
Even though they didn't like each other. It's all right. Tiki and Eli.
Malik Neighbors going off again.
Finally.
I love the kid. What do you mean finally? He had a good game the week before.
No. Like, it's something to watch.
You finally picked a wide receiver. Your team, not you. Your team finally picked a wide receiver that is beautiful. I love watching him.
Let's not talk about him right now. It's nice just to watch him. I don't want to see anything bad happen to him right now.
You want to talk about my pick of the week?
No.
We'll talk about the pick of the week. That was a great pick of the week. Thank you for the pick of the
thank
week
you.
because
You're
I
welcome.
needed it. Well, I didn't need him, but he went off, and I was very happy in one of my leagues.
Can I tell you what I did? I benched him for Shaheed. I took the goose egg, but won by .12. I did. I won by .12. It was the luckiest win I've ever had in my career, and the worst loss of my career in a week. One play.
Oh man.
I don't even know where to go with this. I really don't.
There's nowhere to go. You were here
don't
last
trust
week.
Me? You don't trust me on my starts and sits of the week?
You thought you lost a rat.
He doesn't trust me.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something.
You wouldn't have had to have that best win of the week if you started the guy that I told you to start.
I would have.
I know.
I would have.
The Giants sacked Watson a shit ton. What was it, 7 or 8 sacks?
It's up there.
What's it going to take for the Browns to bench Deshaun?
A few more games, and then they'll want to pay the contract.
A loophole in contract.
That one lady, she's sticking in there, man. That contract might be null and void.
He got his money, man. It's too late. He got paid.
I don't want to talk about the Raiders losing to the Carolina Panthers. I really don't.
Why? The Red Rocket.
I understand.
I have no problem. I have no problem talking about this game. And this was the game I thought Zamir White was going to go off.
Yeah, I don't want him on my roster anymore. I don't want him.
I dropped him the second I could. I'm tired of the Raiders. I'm sick of that organization.
They need Bo Jackson.
Can't stink and trust him in fantasy.
I don't know, man. I don't know if Bo still got it in him. So, that game was crazy. Andy Dalton, again, I did pick up the Raiders defense thinking, what does this guy still have? Should have known. What was that Antonio Pierce quote on the team?
Oh, he said like there were some guys making business decisions and mailing it in or something like that. Not verbatim giving up, but just mailing it in and just kind of making business decisions for themselves.
Coming very soon.
All right. Well, Dolphins Seahawks, it was a one-sided debacle.
Boring.
Yeah. What do you guys feel about the wide receivers in Miami right now?
See what Huntley's got.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to see what Huntley's got.
Because Skylar Thompson hurt his ribs, or
Yep,
I don't know if it was his core or ribs, but he's likely not to play, and then it'll just be another quarterback.
Is this the time to try to get Russell Wilson?
I would give it a try.
I mean, who else? I mean, we can't take Brady out of the booth. He's having so much fun up there.
Trade for Flacco.
I can see a Flacco trade.
Steelers defeat the Chargers. Both teams going into the game 2-0. It was a great excitement game until somebody went down with a hurt ankle. Herbert goes down with a hurt ankle. I have both quarterbacks in that game. I literally flipped Fields for Herbert last minute. I've had a high ankle sprain. They're not good. And they get aggravated really easy. And all I do is get out of bed. This guy's playing football. I don't care how much tape.
He ain't no Phillip Rivers. That motherfucker had a broken leg and finished the game. Now that not a high ankle sprain.
And he was a statue in the pocket.
Phillip Rivers did one of the most amazing games I have ever seen, and then made another baby.
That's all the guy did. Every year that San Diego did not win a championship, Phillip Rivers had a baby. He's got like 45 at this point.
I think 15.
He's it doesn't matter. 15, 45.
Enough to field an entire offense and defense, probably.
Yeah, he's throwing passes in the backyard now.
And Herbert's like, ow, my high ankle sprain. I go surfing.
So, one thing that I was thinking about today was players that don't have relevance one year and then have amazing relevance the year after. And vice versa. Of players that you may have given up on, and then they get a second chance, like Sam Darnold. Quinton Johnson continues to get touchdowns.
Noah Brown, Daly. Like Noah Brown.
What are you trying to say about Noah Brown?
What a game he had yesterday.
Okay.
He was right.
What did he end with?
I don't know, 2 catches, maybe 3.
Yeah, he didn't do much.
He got some first downs, though.
He got some first downs, which
you know what I want to tell
better
you,
than last year.
You know what I need you to understand? We need bonus points on the 100. 100 yards, give us bonus points.
You run your league. You let him run his league, okay? All right.
Bonus points
He's a great commish. Shut your mouth, okay?
You know what? Like I kind of wanted to make it so the touchdowns are a little more outweighing than the yards. I don't really like if somebody throws for like 200 yards and doesn't score a touchdown. It's like, I don't like it.
300
Is that
yards,
productive
bonus.
of a game and worth the fantasy points? Well, 300, yeah. I mean, that's another.
I just
thing
want to
too,
throw
but-
my things out why I can't even remember them.
Yeah.
The only thing you're going to remember is everything that's recorded right now.
Thank God.
Steelers
Yeah.
stopped J.K. Dobbins. They stopped that run game from
They're real, though. That's a
From
real
the
defense.
Chargers.
That's what they do.
the Chargers didn't have an answer, especially after the quarterback went down, Herbert. Are we worried about Herbert?
I've been worried since the beginning of the year when he was hurt.
Yeah.
You know, players.
He hasn't been healthy. He just hasn't been healthy, period.
He might be on a new team next year if Harbaugh don't want him.
Herbert might be my spirit animal. With all the ankle and plantar fasciitis and gout. I mean, listen, he might be my spirit animal.
Mine's a hockey player.
Yeah, but they get hit with the puck. They don't just chew on cheese and have teeth fall out. Colts Bears. 2 young
Another
quarterbacks
boring game.
showing.
Hooves and bears. Hooves and bears.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad all around. I mean, the quarterback play was horrible. For me, they're both like run and gun kind of guys.
I just want to know what to do with Swift. Like, is he done?
I'm not touching him.
No.
Yeah, like, what happened to that guy?
Third team in 3 years. What do you mean what happened to him? He wasn't that good. Just like Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is fat, slow, and he's lazy. That's why I got rid of him.
Okay.
Oh, what do you mean okay? What did he do this week?
He did well. He did fine with me.
He did fine with you.
Give me points. I won.
Steve, how did you?
Jury's still out until Love plays consistent snaps.
Yep.
Really. I really am not judging Jacobs at all with Malik Willis in there because everybody's expecting them to run the ball with him in there. You saw the rushing numbers in week 2.
Yeah.
It was it was just
He only
an
needed like
astronomical
32
rate past
attempts
the
to
run
get over
ratio.
100.
It's 100. 100's 100.
Yeah,
Yeah, no bonus points.
yeah.
I know.
Ravens. This game, I thought it was good. This is how the game. I honestly, this is how the game. Like the game that I wanted is how it went down. The Ravens were hungry. They came out. They were smashing the Cowboys defense in the face with Derrick Henry. And you laughed at me last week. You said, "Oh, the offensive line. I don't think Derrick Henry's going to be well." He was well. He was running all over that defense.
I still don't trust him.
Looked like a spring chicken.
I don't trust him.
Look into the camera and say that.
I do not trust Derrick Henry.
Again, I told you Derrick Henry was going to destroy the Cowboys. And what happened?
He destroyed him.
Yeah, thank you.
It was great to watch.
It was
the only thing I'll say is, I mean, you said the game went exactly how you wanted it to go. Same here, except the Cowboys made it a game late. I just did not want that to happen. But I mean, the Ravens were just so dominant on the ground, and the Cowboys just cannot stop anything in the run game, and it was
They look like they
a lot of fun
quit.
to watch.
Something's wrong. Like
Yeah.
they quit.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that Michael Parsons is going to be a Cowboy next year?
No. The only way he stays is they give him the more money. But I mean, I know that's why they saved the money to bring over next year.
Okay.
He don't look happy. And he can't do it all. That defense just crumbled. Like, this game with the Giants coming up, like, I think the Giants could win this.
Definitely with Singletary pounding the ball. He's a bruiser. Like, in my opinion, like, that's how he was drafted up in Buffalo. That's how he played down in Houston. And that's how he had a great game this week.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you what to watch for with that Giants Cowboys game. They can probably do a lot of read option with Daniel Jones and have him run a bit too. I mean, we've seen them have success with that as well, and could throw the Cowboys for a loop, and it'll be a close thing. Next thing you know, as long as they don't turn it over,
it'll be a close game, but I think the Giants are going to pull it out. I do.
I really like that. Like, I like what you guys are saying because Daniel Jones has the stride of a gazelle.
Yeah, he does. Then trips.
Oh my God.
yes.
A game that disappointed me: Lions-Cardinals.
I expected more of a shootout.
Yeah. That's what we all expected. Kyler did not show up. You know, he's playing video games late the night before.
I don't know what's wrong with Goff. Maybe he's got vertigo.
He had an interception that was just... Ugh. He had a really bad interception in that game.
Yeah, they don't look like last year with all that energy. They don't look like they're eating their peanut butter sandwiches, man. And
they're not biting kneecaps, man.
Yeah, it's boring. Come on, dude. Get loud.
Yeah. Disappointment. Let's talk about disappointment with Sam Laporta. People that drafted Sam Laporta expected the next Travis Kelce. They got week 1, week 2, two poor performances, and then, boom, carted off. Get on the cart, boy. Let's go. We're out. Where's your faith in Sam Laporta from here?
I'd rather play Kelce.
All 8 points?
I feel like with that team, any game, it can be just one or two different guys, and it doesn't have to be him, you know? And this kind of is what we're seeing with it being like a Montgomery and a Amon-Ra game. It could be a Gibbs and Monty game. It could be a Monty and J-Mo game. I feel like a Laporta game would be coming pretty soon, hopefully. But if we don't see it by probably halfway through the season, then I certainly would have my concerns.
I don't think he's going to be the Kelce. I don't think Laporta is that. I think he turns to be a Hawkinson. He gets hurt once in a while. You get him into 5-6 stretch games. 3 of them are good. And that's what he is.
Yeah. Rally the Rams, come back, win over the 49ers.
I don't know how that happened either. I feel like that was a New York called-in script.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go with the scripts.
Insane.
Listen, both teams didn't have their weapons on the outside.
Yes, you have the most expensive weapon on the outside.
Who?
Ayuk.
The most expensive weapon on the outside.
Oh, we're talking about Cooper Kupp and Puna?
And Debo.
Well, Debo's not more expensive than Ayuk.
And CMC. And was Kittle playing?
Not Brittle. Kittle was
not
playing.
Yeah, my point is...
Jawan Jennings was playing, and he got 3 touchdowns and 176 yards. And they lost the game.
You know who has him in our league?
Rat attack.
That was disgusting.
Goddamn rat. That's why he is the rat.
He would have beat me every week, I think.
That's such a rat-like move.
Kyron Williams. Did I pronounce that right?
Kyrie?
Any concerns that anybody had about him being a punt returner is out the window. Just because 3-touchdown game, he's been their bell cow. May he get hurt sometime in the season? I'm sure he's been pretty injury prone, but I mean, as far as workload goes, there's no issues of that, and there shouldn't be. He's a top 5 running back in fantasy.
I'm going out Blake
Period.
Corum. That's what I'm doing right now. Why he's really low.
I agree.
Why? Explain why.
Blake Corum was just drafted. He's a lot. I think he's a better all-around player for his system. But we'll see what happens at the end of the year.
Okay.
He's on my taxi.
McCaffrey's still heading to Germany.
That was awesome. Like, What
That's
can I
wild.
get over there? 9! Off to the plate.
Here's my question. This is going to be an off-the-wall question, and I want to answer from both of you. Does this confirm that America has healthcare issues?
Since I've been in the healthcare problems and issues, yes.
You drink like 4 liters of
It doesn't
soda.
matter what I do to my body.
4 liters of soda a day.
We don't have to go into what my habits are.
Okay.
The healthcare system, like, to get a resection of a colon costs almost $750,000.
There's a lot of money in. It's a lot of it's a cash grab.
Yeah, I mean,
now,
you want to
it
be
seems.
saved? Here. You're going to pay $750,000. Thank God for insurance. What did I pay? $10,000.
It's still a lot of money.
I know.
And a
Which still sucks.
little moment of gotcha, bitch. Like, oh man. All right. Do you want to talk about Stafford?
Yeah, I benched him.
It was your pick last week, wasn't it? Oh, your sit last week.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm glad I did.
Good job.
Yeah, it was a good pick.
You know what was bad though? I changed him for Purdy, 22 points, 0.86, whatever it was. But the Muppet came out with 9.56 CJ Stroud. Like, how did I know the Botox was going to affect him that day? I could see it was deflated when I saw him practicing. I'm like, he isn't fully shot up today. He was not in full Muppet mode. I bet you next week, Muppet mode. He'll be full Botox.
Is that going to be? Well, we'll get there. We'll get to the picks of the week.
I might change my pick now.
Rashee Rice.
I love him.
If he goes down, what does that do to Worthy's worth?
I think it goes more to Kelsey. I mean, they're giving Worthy
And Juju.
for picks a game as targets, but I don't like that they're using Juju over Worthy right now. I don't know why he's out there.
When Rice, I don't want to say Rice went down, but Rice took a breather.
He did.
That's when Juju came in. Juju is behind
Right. That's
Worthy.
what I was getting at with the
But I thought you would, like, when he came in, it still didn't help Worthy. Is what I'm trying to say.
It takes time with Andy Reid to gain that trust.
Mm-hmm.
The kid showed a flash week 1.
Oh,
I think he has it. I think he has
He
it.
does.
just trust. You're right.
You know, I think it's more of a trust thing of, hey, Juju may have the solid hands. Rice went down for a minute. Let's put Juju in his spot. Is Juju's role on this team the Kareem Hunt of the role as running back?
No.
Why? Juju is the third receiver. Kareem Hunt knows the system and has lost a
So
step.
you're talking about a
So
veteran
I'm-
present. That's a
I'm-
veteran present in the position. Yes, he's that. But he's not a Wes
Yeah.
Welker type of player that he's just...
He's the underneath guy, slot.
Yeah, he's got hands.
and run blocking.
He's better than MVS. That's all. You don't butter hands. He'll get you the 3 yards.
Which
He's
does
more
not
of a
take
tight
much
end
to
than
be better
mine.
than
They're different players, though. Juju's not a down the field guy.
No.
He's a slot guy.
Yeah.
No.
But he's not a
am
great slot guy. I'm sorry. He's not great.
I agree. Just like at Kareem Hunt in this aspect of his career is not a great running back. Why do you think he's going to be great?
Because they have the system that works. I mean, they could make it holes.
Steve, do you see my point here? Juju knows the system, can't play. Hunt knows the system,
But
can't
he had
play.
it. But he was made to look great with that touchdown pass, though, in that one opportunity he got to play in Rashee Rice's role. And if you put Kareem Hunt in as the running back and flip him with a Carson Steele, who, I mean, granted, Carson Steele's looked pretty solid the first few games, but I mean, Kareem Hunt behind what's a pretty good offensive line with Patrick Mahomes, it opens a lot of doors as a running back.
Yeah. I think Kareem Hunt's just a better athlete. That's all.
Okay.
I think at the very least he's going to be competent in that role.
I can't believe they're still teasing people that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be back. It's almost putting Tua back into the game. The guy's in a mental institution dealing with PTSD. And now they're going to let him come out of the institution and let him play football? Like, somebody's got to step in somewhere where, like, it's life or death.
Sean, we had a guy that we know that was in a mental institution 4 days ago. Today, he's fine. Today, he's fine. Okay?
Mudcat, we love you, though.
Today, he's fine.
Yeah, he is. That's a true story, though.
What do we got for Thursday night football?
Dallas and the New York Giants.
What's going to happen? I want you to lead. Lead this. You lead this. What's going to happen?
I have no false hope. Like, I'm going with just what my gut says, and after watching Dallas, like, I feel we have a chance. If I had to put money on it, I can't. Because my money says Dallas.
The volatility says don't bet. It's such a volatile
What
game.
I could see happening is Parson destroying Danny Dimes, and then the whole new world starts.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, though, is I believe it was said today that Adoree Jackson and Drew Phillips might be out for Thursday night with injuries. So that's like the two of their top three corners. So that'll be interesting as far as the passing attack for the Cowboys goes. But even then, if they can't stop the run still, it can be a long night.
Or is it going to be a breakout for Neighbors? Like, it's a primetime game. NFL needs it. And they have like CD and Neighbors. They have great games.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's all going to be pushed on Neighbors. Like, that's how I could see the script written.
We're going to each give you a start and sit of the week. Week 4, here we go. We're going to start with Mr. Sean Lee. His start of the week will be
Zach Moss.
Why?
Because that's what they told me to say.
Who, me and Steve?
No. But no, Zach Moss, I watched him play last night, and I think they're playing Carolina, and I think he's just going to run all over that team. And I think Chase Brown will be another one for the garbage time after that game.
Okay.
Because they have to win
with
Joe Burrows, Chase, and T. Higgins, because I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
They don't know who they are.
I mean, and plus, Andy Dalton, like, he's playing his old team, so now you have that kind of revenge in the background. And I can't see Burrows blowing. Like, I almost felt like he needed to sit yesterday. Like, I was like, what are we watching? Okay, I'm sorry.
That's it. All right, we got Eggman. You got...
My star of the week is George Pickens versus the Colts. The way I saw Rome Odunze and some of the big plays that Caleb Williams was making when he wasn't throwing interceptions, I feel like when the Steelers take their shots, like in the few and far between plays, I feel like it'll be George Pickens. And I think I can see George Pickens have like a 5 or 6 for 120, 130 and a touchdown type of day. And gonna probably put up top 5 numbers at the position for week 4. Bold call.
Awesome. I'm going to play that pick. Thank you.
Wow.
Pickens in all my line. Thanks, Steve.
All right. For me, we have what I think is going to be the shootout of the week. Detroit versus Seattle. You have, on one side, you have Seattle.
Where are they playing?
They're playing home. You have JSN, you have Metcalf, Amah, and Williams. My pick of the week, Williams.
Okay.
Not a great week, but I think that this game, the Lions might get down. They might go downfield. Williams is that downfield guy.
You lost Laporta, so gets a little
That's my pick of the week. Sean, your sit of the week.
Mark Andrews. If anybody wants him on my team, let's start talking. He does not belong on my team. I think he got a concussion from the car accident, and he doesn't know how to play anymore. And if he was smart, he would have took over Likely's position at training camp and I don't think he knows what to do anymore. So if anyone like Mark Andrews, he's available.
You know who you just sounded like right now?
No, who?
Donald goddamn Trump. Mark Andrews is not my guy.
He's not.
He's not my guy.
He's fired. Please send all offers.
He's horrible. He's not part of my team.
Nope. Week 1, he thought he was left tackle and he was supposed to be tight end. And likely he was like, yo, you gonna give me all these free balls? Like, this is how you made your money, bro. And likely he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out and have games. And Mark's just like, left tackle. You all right, Lamar? You got tackled. Why are you playing your position? Not my guy.
He is like Kamala Harris. He will not perform this week.
No.
Jesus.
Total loser. Does not have my complete and total endorsement.
He's gone.
Okay. Eggman, who you sitting?
I'm sitting Garrett Wilson of the Jets.
Wow.
And I know he had a really good game against the Patriots, but they're facing the Broncos, which means he's probably going to be shadowed by Pat Surtain. Pat Surtain's been on Mike Evans, 2 catches for 17 yards. They face the Seattle Seahawks, and DK Metcalf stats, 3 catches for 29 yards. They face the Steelers, and George Pickens had a whopping 2 catches for 29 yards.
Yeah, 29 yards.
So, not expecting more than 3 or 4 catches or 40 or 50 yards.
You need to hear the devil's advocate here. You have Justin Fields throwing to Pickens. You have Baker throwing to Evans. You have quarterbacks that might be afraid to throw that way. Who's throwing?
Aaron Rodgers.
Garrett Wilson.
Wait a minute. Anyone see the Percocet fucking videos of him out there now?
No.
You haven't seen that?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, man. He's all gumming. He's like, all right, I'm going to eat that. I'm going to throw it. And then he's like in the zone. You haven't seen him? Oh, they're so good.
No. My sit of the week is Josh Jacobs. Again, they're using him up. He's fat and lazy. He's not going to be a good running back. They're using him up. And in history, when you use people like that, they don't perform. That's my sit of the week. Josh Jacobs.
Not listening to you.
That's fine. You did last week, and
you
had to wait until you had to win by like 0.2 because you didn't listen to me.
You're exactly right.
Okay, so maybe you should listen.
You know why he didn't listen to you? He wanted the satisfaction of you being wrong if he fucked up.
I know.
I love it.
But that's what this is about, man. This is fantasy football. When you talk smack or bullshit with your league mates, what's over the line?
Well, it's kind of like in every other circumstances in life, when someone says to stop, you ask nicely to see if we're really insulting you. Like, I've gotten, that's enough. And then I put up another joke to see. And he goes, nah. And then he pulls up this thing that says, yo, those are good pulls. And I'm like, what the fuck is a pull, motherfucker? And then I find what a pull is, but it's not that what he was talking about. So I got to get into these language and into their heads. And then I know where we could stand on the line and over the line. Most of the time, I don't care where the line is. I'm still going to go over.
I still don't know what a pull is.
Look it up, bro.
I don't think I want to.
Go back to this group chat. You'll see.
Steve?
He called me a pervert.
Steve?
Anything outside of a shot at myself. But other than that, I don't care. I've heard about just about everything, and I always have a good sense of humor about it, and you guys have your sense of humor as it relates to our league. That's very refreshing how you go at certain people, especially Sean.
I work on that stuff, man. I have a file for all that.
I love it. I need it. Like, none of my leagues have ever had something like that, and except for Ant-Man's league.
What's going on today?
But like we need like we needed pot stirrers, and you guys are that. So it's definitely I enjoy it because you guys can take it as well as you can dish it. So
Hey,
Yeah.
Rat, I really do hope that we have
Lunch.
No.
I want to have lunch with him.
I don't want to have no, nobody wants to have lunch with a rat.
I'll do it on a Zoom call. Without my teeth.
No, Rat, I want to meet in person, and I would love to have a glass of whiskey with you.
And lunch.
Sure.
Thank
We
you.
can throw a sandwich in there, okay? But, Rat, love you, buddy.
Cheese sandwich.
One question before we sign off. You told me about rim jobs last week.
We hesitated on that one because
because since my extraction and not having the right proper alcohol for it, we have to bring it to next week.
it's postponed. It was postponed.
Postpone it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm on antibiotics and stuff like that, and I don't want to ruin my life any much longer since I'm missing 3 organs. So when I put up my GoFundMe, you could take care of my medical bills. Got teeth?
Got teeth? Nope.
We are the fourth
and three
Amigos.
Please follow us on YouTube at fourth, not spelled out fourth and 3 Amigos. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Giants still suck. Till next week. Let's go, boys.
Let's go Giants.
Take care.